It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Monday, the 11th of June. I'm Michael Groff. The week starts out with very typical June weather. Sunny, hot, and dry conditions, but after tomorrow, an anomalous, unsettled, and complicated weather pattern takes shape over the desert southwest. Increasing amounts of moisture, the potential of rain, maybe some locally heavy rain. Yeah, a lot of questions. Let's see if we can find some answers. First, we'll start by looking at the almanac from yesterday. 106 degrees, the high in the valley after a morning low of 78. And outside right now, here at 5 a.m. in the valley, mostly clear skies out there. We start this day out at 77 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew points at 36, humidity 22%. The winds are light, and the barometer is rising. Temperatures around south central Arizona this morning, mostly low 70s to low 80s here in Metro Phoenix. The upper air look, an impressive trough over the Pacific Northwest and Western Canada, a dry westerly flow here, but that will be changing in coming days. The watch warning maps still have an air quality alert in effect for Maricopa County. Elevated ozone levels should continue at least through tomorrow, and an excessive heat watch now in effect from tomorrow morning through Wednesday evening. More details on that momentarily. Elsewhere around the southwest, heat advisories in parts of West Texas, but conversely, the northern Rockies yesterday, we had a little bit of snow in parts of Montana. Rest of the country is pretty quiet, a dense fog advisory in sections of Alabama. And on the convective outlook, a slight risk of severe storms from northern Oklahoma through the Iowa-Minnesota border. The tropics in the East Pacific, very active right now. Not going to worry too much about Oleta. That's a weakening tropical storm, going to fizzle out by the middle part of the week. But behind that, we have Hurricane Bud. Maximum sustained winds, 115 miles per hour, moving to the northwest toward Cabo San Lucas and the southern tip of Baja. This could start to be a player in our weather by the end of the weekend as well, as much of this moisture is drawn northward into the southwest states. And speaking of moisture, rainfall for the next 7 days coming from the WPC, they've got around 1/4 to 1/2 inch for the eastern 2/3 of Arizona or so, including the valley. Certainly there could be higher amounts than this in some spots. And we'll really dive into those details of this weather situation as we take a look at the models right now and have a peek at it. This is the GFS. The 06Z run, valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. We start as always with the upper chart at about 18,000 feet in the atmosphere, where the pressure is 500 millibars. Our Pacific Northwest trough begins to shift off to the east today across the northern Rockies. As a result, the subtropical ridge shifts northward and down at the surface. That just spells out a typical June day. Mostly sunny skies, highs 104 to 108. Tonight, mostly clear. Lows mainly in the 70s to near 80. And tomorrow, mostly sunny, highs 106 to 110. The subtropical ridge continues to move northward. The flow aloft begins to veer to a more southerly direction. And by Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, that means a significant moisture surge looking likely here into southern Arizona. This is the precipitable water coming off the GFS Wednesday at 5 a.m. It's got values between 1 to 1.1 inches here over southeast California to south central Arizona. And along the leading edge of that moisture surge, might start to see an isolated shower or thunderstorm coming into southern Arizona at that point. Yes, even in the early morning hours on Wednesday. Here's the high-res NAM, 7 a.m. Wednesday morning. It's certainly in agreement with this scenario, painting in a few isolated storms. Nothing heavy, nothing severe, but maybe some gusty winds and a few sprinkles out of this. That complicates the weather scenario for Wednesday, that's for sure, because if that happens, that increased moisture might hold temperatures down just a bit. We may not need that excessive heat watch after all, but I think with that increased humidity, we'll definitely start the day on the warm side, likely in the 80s in most spots, and highs still could climb to the 106 to 110 range, and it'll feel every bit of it with the added humidity. Thursday, more moisture increases as a deepening low over the Pacific Northwest and subtropical ridging to the east pulls in plenty of that moist air from the south. So widely scattered showers and thunderstorms possible in here. And I would start to introduce even a chance of showers and storms in the valley at that stage. Highs getting a little bit cooler, around 100 to 104. Friday, more quality moisture moving northward, and that means scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially over the higher terrain, but even here in the valley, slight chance of showers and storms. Partly sunny skies, highs upper 90s to about 101. Saturday, the bulk of the tropical moisture is in place, and this could be a really interesting day. It kind of goes one of two ways. Typically, when these tropical systems start to move northward, we get a lot of real deep tropical moisture in here. The skies are cloudy. The atmosphere is fairly stable, albeit very moist. So we get light rain or drizzle in here, and highs stay generally in the upper 80s or low 90s. Certainly that's possible, but we do have one extra ingredient out there, and that is an area of low pressure spinning over the Great Basin, providing a lot of fast-moving air in the mid-levels. That could help to destabilize the atmosphere. That could really help to get some showers and storms going with this deep tropical moisture in place. So can't rule out some isolated heavy showers and storms. Again, over the high country mainly, but even here in the valley, not out of the question. High temperatures, some of the guidance suggests will stay in the 80s. I think we'll be in the low to mid 90s on Saturday. But just for the heck of it, let's take a look at the European. This is 5 a.m. Saturday morning. It's got the remnant circulation of Bud, which would probably be a tropical depression at that point, over the southern Gulf of California. A huge amount of moisture just moving north right into southern Arizona. Some locally heavy showers and thunderstorms would be going on in this scenario. The European has a pretty good track record in the medium range, so we'll keep this scenario in mind as well. Sunday, the GFS takes a lot of this moisture and kind of moves it off to the east. Only an isolated shower or storm would be possible here in the valley. Better chances and the better rain would be over New Mexico and Colorado, on off into the Rockies and northern northeast Mexico. High temperatures back into the mid, maybe upper 90s. Let's go to a week from today. This is Monday, the 18th of June. Weird weather setup here. All right, we've got high pressure building over the western plains and into the Rockies, a cutoff low over the Great Basin, and a south-southwesterly flow. At this stage, we'd be relatively dry. High temperatures somewhere around 100. Then Tuesday, this is the 19th, high pressure continues to build over the central Rockies. The flow aloft turns pretty deep southeasterly, and more tropical moisture is once again imported. We have that extra element of an area of low pressure to our west. Pretty unsettled conditions, scattered showers and thunderstorms return to the forecast. And then the end of the forecast period, this is Wednesday, the 20th of June. I emphasize June, normally our driest month, and certainly this is not typical weather by any means. So we kind of take this whole forecast with a grain of salt, but if this is right, again, that area of low pressure continues to spin, and I don't like to talk about cutoff lows 10 days out, but it's out there. We've got a 594 ridge centered over Colorado and Wyoming, and a deep east-southeasterly flow in place, very monsoon-like in nature, with scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms statewide. Some of those storms could put down some locally heavy rain. All right, let's go ahead and check the numbers coming off the GFS ensemble through the period. And I think by and large, these numbers are a little bit too high. It could be 112 on Wednesday, but I just think there's just going to be too much moisture around for that. And this weekend, I don't know if we're going to see highs getting up to 100, believe it or not. Conversely, the European ensemble, the numbers look just a tad too cool, especially the overnight lows. Those will probably be just a little bit higher than that, so split the difference on all of this. And the anomalous weather pattern is likely to continue into at least the early part of next week. Interesting stuff. All right, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here tomorrow morning. And if you like our videos, be sure to subscribe so that whenever we post a brand new one, you'll get the notifications. Otherwise, be safe out there and have yourselves a great Monday.